Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to another Deep Dive. We always like to kick things off with something thought-provoking, and today is no different. We're diving into the whole idea of New Year, New Me,
Yeah.
but with a bit of a twist.
Right.
And we found this really interesting excerpt. Um, it kind of challenges that whole clean slate mentality that a lot of us get caught up in this time of year.
Yeah, this piece really digs into that, that feeling that just because the calendar flips to January 1st, all of a sudden everything's going to be different.
Right. Like, poof, magic.
Exactly. And, it makes me think about like rereading the same book over and over again,
Oh, yeah.
but expecting a different ending.
Yes, totally. And it's not just about the start of a new year. It's that idea that life kind of moves in these cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't actually do anything to break out of those cycles, then 2025 might end up feeling a lot like, well, 2024.
You hit the nail on the head there. It's like walking the same path every day through the woods. The more you walk that path, the deeper that groove gets. Oh, I like that.
And our brains kind of work the same way.
Interesting.
We repeat those same actions, day after day, and it strengthens certain neural pathways. Even the little things, the ones we barely even notice we're doing. And after a while, those patterns, they get so ingrained, it can feel like we're stuck in this loop.
Okay, so we're talking about habits here. Those everyday things we do almost without thinking about them. This excerpt, though, it really emphasizes that real change comes from making small, deliberate choices.
Yeah.
It's not about those big, sweeping resolutions that we all know we're probably going to break by February.
Right.
It's the tiny course corrections we make throughout the day.
Yeah, I love how this piece gives those concrete examples.
Mhm.
Like instead of hitting snooze, you get up 30 minutes earlier. Or instead of scrolling through your phone, you
Yeah.
actually have a real conversation with someone. Those small shifts, over time, they can have a huge impact.
It's almost like we're laying down a new path in those woods, one that leads us somewhere totally different.
But I do wonder about something. Could just focusing on those small decisions prevent us from tackling bigger issues? The kind of things that might really be holding us back.
Oh, that's a really good point. It's not about ignoring the bigger picture at all. But often those smaller changes can create momentum, and then they kind of empower us to address the larger challenges in our lives.
I see that. And the excerpt also talks about how change often requires us to, well, step outside of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
It's about confronting those ingrained habits, the ones that we'd rather just kind of sweep under the rug.
Right. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, those habits, they don't just magically disappear on their own.
No, they don't.
And admitting that can be a little uncomfortable, can it? Change, it's rarely a smooth and easy process.
It really isn't. This reminds me of when I was trying to make writing a regular habit. I kept putting it off. I was always waiting for that perfect time. Like magically, I'd have more energy and fewer distractions.
Yeah, we've all been there.
But that perfect time, it never came. And it wasn't until I just accepted the discomfort of starting small, even if it was just writing for like 15 minutes a day.
Right.
That's when I actually started to build some momentum. What about you? Have you ever had a similar experience?
Absolutely. I've definitely had those times where I get so caught up in analyzing and planning
Oh, yeah.
that I completely avoid taking any action. It's like I'm waiting for the perfect conditions before I'm willing to actually dive in.
Yeah.
But often the most valuable learning comes when we're willing to just embrace that discomfort, and take those first steps, even if they're a bit messy.
That's so true. So for our listener out there, what's one small change you could make today? Something that might feel a bit uncomfortable, but could lead to a bigger shift in your life. What habit, if you changed it, could create the biggest ripple effect in your year?
It's not just about another year. It's about the power we have to make it a new one.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into meaningful change.
And as you think about what you want to change in your life, here's something to consider. We've talked a lot about individual change, but what about the systems and structures around us? How can we work together to shape a new year that goes beyond just personal resolutions?
That's a great question to ponder as we all embark on this new chapter. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.